guys, what's up? It's Sean, Autotopia LA, and we are back with the guys from Roadster Shop, my friend Jeremy here. And before we jump in, a couple things real quick. Number one, we've made a Midwest road tour sweatshirt and t-shirt because we're doing a Midwest road tour starting here. And it happened because of two people helping us out. Number one, the Roadster Shop guys are sponsoring part of this trip for us, as is Baer Brakes. So thank you to Roadster Shop guys. Thank you to Baer Brakes. Now let's jump into this damn Camaro.
Let's do it, dude. It's a pleasure to get to do this again, man. I knew you were coming out and we were scratching our head because we had another car we were going to put here.
Yeah.
Had some technical difficulties, as I'm sure lots of guys in the hot rod industry do. But
yeah,
we were fortunate enough to have this queued up, ready to rock in the shop, and I think it's bitching. So stoked to show it to you, let you drive it.
What we were laughing about was when we were trying to pick what car was going to happen, you were saying, we were thinking maybe the Chevelle, maybe this, and then there's that white Camaro, and we all kind of went, yeah, the white Camaro.
Yeah.
So like this is all the machines they'll be running, doing the CNC.
This is a nice Z28.
Look at the center console.
Oh my God, this is so sick.
I dig it, man. It's it's in our Survivor Series too, so it's not like over the top crazy fit and finish with tons of modifications.
Right.
But it's just a cool ass car. I mean, it almost looks like a hangover from the most bitchin' 80s party you've ever been to, you know?
Yeah.
It nails the era, I
It
feel
does.
like.
Now, knowing you guys though, so this falls full on into your Survivor land. Give a quick kind of concept of what Survivor is, and then let's dig into the specific one here.
So the Survivors, they came about years back. I mean, we've probably been doing them like 10 years now, I'd say. But it was like a shift of customers that we were building super high-end stuff for, and like nobody's really using the cars, right? You spend so much time focusing on the details and making the panels flawless. The fit and finish is like over the top.
Yep.
And when it's all said and done, it's kind of like, what do you do with it, right? It's a beautiful piece of art. Like it functions 100%, but at the same time, you're scared to death to use it.
Right.
And you've got to do something at that level, you're like minimum of 2 years to knock it out. So the Survivor kind of came about from just, I think, the industry thriving and customers building more and more stuff, and then realizing it's like, hey, I'm done with that. I want another one, but like I want to drive it, I want to enjoy it. So we got to thinking, you're like, well, shit, I mean, just like, let's not worry about all the flashy stuff on the exterior. Do all the cool stuff we do underneath it, inside, in the engine bay. Focus on like the chassis and the mechanicals, and just get the car on the road for guys to drive and enjoy and like put miles on. I mean, these things come back now, and it went from like, we'd pick a car up that we did for a customer, it comes back 2 years later, and the odometer's like 200 miles. And I know when it left, I put 150 test miles on it, right?
Right.
And now these things come back and they're like 20,000, 30,000 miles, and it's bitching. They're coming back for like maintenance, right? Oil changes and stuff like that.
So cool.
It's fun.
So cool.
And then, I mean, they've evolved too, right? So like all sorts of cool little tweaks, and you can still have fun with them, still be creative with them. So I'm having a blast doing them. I mean, I love them.
Yeah. All right, let's dig in. Let's start by popping the, wait, actually, let's not even pop the hood, because I was told this morning, this is all you guys making this.
So that is, right? When the car came in, there were two things. Like, the customer just wanted it to look like it was, and it wanted to have an LT5 in it. So immediately I know, I'm like, damn, dude, LT5 is a tall motor. Like, we have trouble packaging in it in most muscle cars, and that is too iconic to lose, right? The look of that hood scoop with the surround of the graphics. So right out of the gate, it was a head scratcher, because it's originally a small little plastic piece. So fortunately, we digitally scan all these, so we know exactly where that motor lands. And that's actually a hand fab piece of sheet metal that just mimics the look of the original, but we actually cut the hood out, and that LT5 blower lid, it nestles right in that space.
So you're feeding a ton of air to it.
And to be honest, we were like a little nervous about the aesthetic of it, just because it's growing, right? So you're used to seeing like a 69 Camaro with like a 6-inch cowl hood. And you're like, that sucks, right? It just ruins the lines. But the byproduct was that I think it kind of makes the car look tough. It's got a little more bulge to it. When you're sitting in the car, you're looking out and you're seeing it, and I think it's rad.
You just said it has a bulge.
A bulge, yeah, I did, didn't I? And they sure hide hide the hood release.
Is that where it originally was positioned?
Yeah. So you got to get under this giant urethane bumper to get the hood release, but so ergonomics, maybe not the best.
Cool. I love this engine so much. I thought the LT4 was cool until the LT5 came along, right?
The LT5 is bitching, and it's a shame GM canceled it because I think that was their like finest work, in the crate motor world.
Isn't it bone stock 750?
Yeah, right out of the crate, 750 horse, and it leaves a lot on the table. So changing pulleys, changing, minor injector swaps, cam swaps, you can make like north of 1,000 horse on these.
Did you do additional stuff to
this one?
We didn't.
This thing is 100% stock, other than it's got a Holley serpentine drive on the front of it. Beyond that, man, it is the way it comes out of the crate.
Got it. So you're slightly over 750 then?
Yeah, you're right there. I mean, fortunately, we put it all on here, on these little flaps.
Shit.
Because I always forget if they're 750, 755, and I know somebody will correct it, and be like, that's 750, so it's 755 horse.
Here's one of those things too, my eye just caught that again. I remember talking to you last time we were out here and I was asking why some of the OE stuff, and your explanation was so good about why change what's been so hyper engineered. Now when I see this on cars, I go, that's a smart builder right there.
Yeah, you've got like this car deviates a little from that, and it's all stuff that we know works. So on a manual car, I like the feel of having manual brakes.
Yeah.
I feel like you're more in control of it. I mean, you're using a lot of engine braking when you're downshifting, and I don't like a super sensitive brake pedal feel. So we use a 15/16 bore master, and we just build the right ratio into our billet pedal assembly. And you feel more in control of the car, like you're driving the car.
Yeah.
So I don't love it on like an auto where you're cruising and you kind of just want to gently get on the brakes, but works good here.
Yeah. And obviously all on a Roadster Shop chassis.
Yeah, so it's on a Roadster Shop chassis, and the timing of this one was kind of cool because it was, I believe, the first car we put on the road with our second gen Camaro spec platform. So it's like 100% bolt-on chassis with 0 modifications to the body at all. So being a factory subframe car, you roll the front sub out from underneath it, and that slides under it. It bolts into your factory subframe locations, but it like straddles the rear sub rails, and you can still get a 345 tire out back. So it's cool. It adds a ton of strength. It takes out like the subframe connectors, rear link kit, all that, and it's just all in one. And it's a cool platform. Like, they're tough to package. The rear, the way the seat and everything is, the floor kicks down so much. So we've got a cool billet 4-link that we do, which is a little different. It's got billet aluminum upper 4-link bars, which spec chassis is usually looked at as a little bit more of a like budget line. You get a little carried away sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this would be cool out of billet. So it's got some rad stuff on it. It's a fun chassis. I love the way they work under these cars.
So funny to me. I've learned this, that the more simple it looks, usually the more complex it is.
You're right. You're 100%. You work super hard on making it look simple.
Yeah.
And they
really
are like
does.
any of the LT stuff. That's probably the one disadvantage, is that you've got intercooler bricks in it, so you've got a whole intercooler system. The LT5's dry sump, so you've got a dry sump tank on it.
That's
so
right.
Like you said, it looks simple, but all that's packaged in here. We've got like a big CNR heat exchanger up front. There's reservoirs for the coolant in that intercooler system, a big 5-gallon Peterson tank for the dry sump, and it's all kind of crammed in there where you can squeeze it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tight package in here, but it God, we keep making these fucking references today, huh?
Where we going with this?
Packages. Now, as far as the other mechanicals, so what does it go to? Transmission? What does it go to? Rear end? All that?
So it's mated to a T56 Tremec Magnum trans.
Yep.
Bowler transmission puts them together for us. So he does his carbon upgrade in them, which just makes them live longer, perform better behind these big horse motors. Tilton twin disc clutch behind it, that for twin disc clutch, super street friendly. You'll drive the car and feel it. Going through a chromoly drive shaft into a heavy duty 9-inch rear axle. So pretty standard, like strange nodular center section. I think this car's got 350 gears in it, something like that. And It's a very functional standard package, like where you're not deviating and trying weird stuff that sometimes bites you in the ass.
Yeah.
So it just works.
Yeah, yeah. Curious, because we just, as we were driving over here to shoot, we were behind you.
Sure.
And the exhaust is wonderful on this. I mean, the pops it makes, what's your exhaust going?
Yeah, the exhaust, this car's got kind of like a symphony, and sometimes they're an anomaly. I mean, we fabricate all our own exhaust systems, so it's 3-inch, we just build them off of just little cast bends. Borla mufflers on it. It's just a straight through perforated core muffler, up and over the axle and out the back. We've got some little, what we call Helmholtz resonators that go in line to reduce the drone in it. And this car, I don't know, you know, I could make up something that sounds like I really know what I'm talking about, but to be honest with you, on the back pressure side, this car's got some back pressure, and you hear that cool popping and stuff on diesel.
Yeah.
I wish I had the answer for you.
Got you.
You know,
so it just happened.
It just fucking sounds good. Sometimes they work out that way.
All right, I'll get to see the side here. I want to hear about your wheels because, dude, ballsy choice, and I love to go with the white.
Right. You got to have the white, dude. The color combo, anything else on that would not do the car justice.
Nope.
This was a rare instance where, like, almost an exact duplicate of the original wheel already existed. So it's a forge line 3-piece wheel. So they're 18 by 9.5s up front, 19 by 12s in the back. And there was like, it was not up for discussion. They're getting white centers. Like, that just had to be. White centers, polished hoops, it fits the car, I think. Just
so with you.
Awesome.
What do you run tire sizes then?
So tires, they're Pilot Sports front and rear. They're 265, 40, 18s up front, and then 345, 30, 19s out back.
Love it.
So it's got all the meat out back. You get a little more tire up front, but it's a little conservative fitment.
Yeah. Other than the hood scoop, is there any body mods to the car?
There's nothing, no. And that's what's neat about these Survivors. Like, it shaves probably half the budget off of a build and half the time.
And like a year off the time probably, huh?
Absolutely.
It's so funny, dude. I'm old enough that like I remember this car coming out and thinking like that's about as cool as it gets, you know?
I know it. We're like one generation apart, and I grew up with these as Matchbox cars. Yeah. So in my Matchbox car bin, the 79 Camaro was the coolest one. It was like the most aggressive. The front end, I remember, was so cool. Yeah. It just sticks with you.
God, dude, I've been looking so forward to getting in here, man. Oh my God, this is...
Yeah, the interior's rad in this one. So this thing...
But it's so kept like the original feel of it.
Yeah, this is a lot like the white wheels. Like, the car came in and it had a light blue interior. And again, we're looking at it like, dude, it's got to stay. You know, it's so unique that just a black vinyl interior, black leather interior, I don't think it'd do the car any justice. So, bold move. I mean, hats off to the customer for rolling the dice, you know, and taking the chance on it.
The whole stripe thing and stuff, man. Is this an avant-garde?
No, this was done by Miranda Built. So Jeremy Miranda, he's down just outside Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah,
And he does a heck of a good job.
So everything in here is completely redone.
Yeah,
like gutted
interior-wise, we take everything out of the interior because the whole car is rewired. So everything under the dash is brand new. All the mechanicals, you know, vintage air, Gen 4 box, American Auto Wire harness in it. It's like the car is loaded up with fresh stuff. So as it goes back together, everything's brand new.
I mean, you even retained the feel and look of the original wheel, but
yeah, that's
made it cooler.
Exactly. Which is sometimes you get lucky. There's certain platforms, this being one of them. Licara already has a wheel.
Oh, really?
14-inch diameter that has the same kind of spokes as the original Camaro.
Yeah.
And it accepted the factory Camaro horn button, and we had Jeremy Miranda just wrapped it, hand laced it in that perf leather to match, and you end up with something pretty neat without going like crazy over the top.
Yeah. I recognize this from the Grand National.
Yep.
So let's
key that thing on and it'll load up. So just
son of a bitch, dude.
Just like the GN, we got the cool loading screen. These cars were done kind of, you know, at a similar time, and both of them just seemed appropriate for that style.
That graphic
Yeah.
style, right? Now you have the ability to change that, right?
We do. So that's, I mean, infinitely configurable. It's just a matter of design. Like anything we want to put on it can live on it.
And this is, I want everyone to understand, this is you guys. This isn't you buying somebody else's plug and play type system.
Right.
This is a Roadster Shop proprietary.
Yeah, that's something that we spent a good deal of time engineering, and it's a neat piece.
I hate that I come here because I'm in love with this car, and I haven't even had the pleasure of
Once you
driving
drive it, dude,
it gets worse, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. This is one that's kind of addictive. Like,
wow. All right, dude, let's go drive this
Let's do
bitch,
it,
man.
man.
We got to drive this thing. Let's go drive.
let's rip it, man. Who's driving first? You are?
Good answer. So you've heard me mention it a couple times now. This is our shirt for the Autotopia LA Midwest Road Tour. I'm super stoked about this one. This is by far my favorite yet. And it is live on the store now. Head over to atlamerch.com. And I really mean this. This one's gonna go quick when you see the names on the back of this shirt. atlamerch.com. It's live on the store now. Okay. God, I gotta remind myself to look at the road because I want to just look at your bitchin' display.
Yeah,
It's a quick, real short kind of throw on the shift, huh?
Yeah, they're short throw, and that clutch brake's kind of high, so you don't really have to kick it all the way in. But
yeah,
I like the way that thing works, man. Bowler does a great job with it.
It is running full Baer Brakes setup on this car, right?
Yeah, this is 13-inch Baer on all four corners.
Yeah.
I mean, Baer stuff's standard across virtually everything that we do.
Yeah.
And on these spec chassis, we'll take them anywhere from an 11-inch 4-piston up to a 14-inch 6-piston.
Got it.
And this is kind of like right in the middle there at 13-inch, but great brake. I mean, it's on the street, I always say it's hard to really notice the difference between like the 13s and the 14 extremes. If you're gonna track it, you'll
That's where you're gonna start knowing, huh? Yeah, yeah. Boy, this car just feels typical with you guys, dude. It just feels so damn good on the road, man.
Yeah, it just kind of feels like a new car.
It
right?
does. It's like, I mean, the slight steering input, you know, it's right the way it sits on the road. It just, like right away it makes you go, yeah, let's just go drive this all day.
Yep. Yeah, the problem with it is, like, I feel like this car works so good, it's so enjoyable to drive that it just, after driving it for like 10 minutes, you just want to do like bad shit in it, you know? You just want to
Get real comfortable,
yeah,
and then you're like, let's just rail on it. Yeah, and it's really nice how it's actually, like, I'm sure when you put your foot in it, it's gonna come get rowdy, but otherwise, like me driving it the way I drive, it's super drivable.
It's rowdy, but it's fairly predictable. I mean, with boosted motors, like, you can expect it's gonna blow the tires off, like,
sure,
at first gear whenever you want, second gear pretty much whenever you want, third gear pretty much whenever you want. But it's controllable. It's not like violently fast.
Come on with the sounds this thing makes, dude.
Outside of all the cool stuff, we're always focused on, like, just this, trying to make that driving experience just so good, you know?
Yeah.
Where you forget about everything else and you're just enjoying the car.
Yeah, that's what you know, any of the well-built cars, I mean, let's be honest, dude, it is what the design function was for transportation, right? So, like, we should be able to drive it down the road, you know? This is such a drivable car.
Dude, I feel like I watch so many of your videos and I like to see you, like, get on this fucker, you know? Like, drive it, dude. Don't be afraid of it, you know?
Okay. Okay. Hell yeah. God, bitchin' car, brother.
Thanks, dude.
Well, that's just,
It's like
just fun,
so
usable power.
civilized, you know,
It is,
but
man.
fucking rowdy at the same time.
Yeah, no, I can tell it's all there, dude. I mean, you know, I'm rolling on to
Right.
it, being smart and safe about it.
I guess there was that rev limiter. There was that rev limiter.
Little rev
That's
limiter.
why it's there.
Now you know where it's at. What is your rev set at on this?
It's probably
You
like
know?
6,800, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
This car, boy, it just went from like drive it and it's cool and mellow and stuff to, man,
Yeah.
it can be violent too. But it still felt very linear, like
That's the thing about the
Smart.
blower motors. I mean, it'll come on like a rocket ship if you want it to, but it's still linear, like you say.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. I mean, I saw you like barely wheeling it, you know, like pretty. You got to be used to, I imagine, with all the cars you guys build because it's your platform, so they're
Yeah.
going to usually do the same stuff, right?
They all pretty much do the same thing, I guess.
Yeah.
I think maybe I psych myself out a little bit because I don't want to be like that dude on your YouTube channel
I hear you.
that's like in the bushes, you know?
I hear you. I love this car.
That's a fast car, man. Yeah, the thing, I mean, it's braking traction, but the car's accelerating and controllable.
It's accelerating and it's not.
And I'm like driving it to brake traction too. You know, you can roll into the throttle a little bit and it'll.
I could tell if you were rolling on it, it's not going to brake. But it does feel cool how it's breaking loose, but it's
Yeah,
like
it's digging
it's
in
still
and,
digging
you know,
and pulling the whole time, you know. All right. I heard third gear chirping.
And those Baer Brakes work pretty damn good. Huh?
Baer Brakes are working really well. You know, I have a real sensitivity for brakes.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I joke about it, but truth is, don't we all? I smell them right now. They're heating up a little bit, huh?
Well,
Getting
it was
them warm.
Like, triple digit speeds to no speed pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
Comfortably.
I mean, truth is, I'm just sitting over here enjoying it like a friggin' roller coaster, you know? Fuck, I love a well-built muscle car, my man.
I told you, man, this car just makes you want to do bad stuff.
It really does, and you smile the whole time, right? So day one of the Midwest Road Tour started here with the Roadster Shop. Now we're taking off. Not going to tell you where I'm going, but I will tell you the Roadster Shop sponsoring this tour along with Baer Brakes and some other Holley products. So I'm jumping in the Legends Series truck from the Roadster Shop, heading north. See you guys in the next episode. Later, man.